Hey folks, this is Soul, and today we're going to be doing some PTR coverage with a closer look at Siren Isle and Circe's Circlet, the customizable ring you'll be using to lay waste to the Isle and also use it elsewhere like in raids and dungeons. This is the PTR, and I'll be giving takes as I see it. Not all the information is going to be clear or complete. I'm going to offer up some speculation and fill in gaps where I can, but otherwise this video is designed to give you a sense of what to expect going in. The TLDR, it's got elements reminiscent of Mechagon and the Forbidden Reach, put at a smaller scale. It doesn't appear we'll be taking many weeks to wrap up with some faction or explore a tower of puzzles, or even struggle all that much against an army of elite rares. It's kind of a piñata for catch-up gear and cosmetics, as if there wasn't enough of that already. But anyway, like the video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, and catch me live when I'm streaming. To get started, once this patch goes live, there's someone to talk to over in the main building in Dornogal. They're going to direct you to the eastern part of the city, where an airship will take you to the Siren Isle. What follows is a series of quests. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but at a high level, they're pretty quick. And you'll be fine coming in here as a freshly leveled max level character, so like an item level of 550 or so. At the moment though, I suggest bringing your main, and I'll talk about why later. With that in mind though, many of us who watch these kinds of videos can be assumed to have fairly well-geared characters like 610 and higher, or much higher. You'll find many but not all the challenges here to be pretty trivial, and even then there are features on this island that'll help you. Questing will get you the lay of the land, and very early on you'll obtain the ring and gems to start customizing it. The quests are very straightforward, and there are other meta quests scattered around the island which appear to unlock even more questing. Flying is not available right away, it's unlocked after completing the island's questline, but navigating it is already a cinch. Reportedly, the zone was originally an island expedition, so it follows the Battle for Azeroth philosophy of train building, as in it was designed to always be crossed on foot. There are only a few nooks and crannies to really discover. Elevations are, like at worst, hills and ramps, and for some of the gimmicky quests, there's assistance to help you jump around. You can even buy consumables of this in case cliffs are like your enemies. As you quest, you'll unlock other navigation perks like fast swimming and underwater breath. You'll unlock abilities to locate hidden treasures and collect extra loot from treasure goblin-like enemies, and eventually you can fly normally. Eventually your ring will be supercharged, and while on Siren Isle, will proc all possible gems to up your destructive power. You can also change the state of the zone to a storm phase, featuring different mobs and quests and additional perks. My favorites include hopping into a mecha to mow down enemies, or the classic tanky move to grab as many mobs as you can and lay down a giant nuke. Rares and treasures are dotted all over the place. The non-elite rares are kind of quick to defeat, where I kind of hope these rares don't drop anything exclusive to them, otherwise they might be a pain to camp. 3 rare elites are called down using a table at the island's hub. By plugging in flame-blessed iron, that's the island's currency, you'll start a 3-minute cooldown, after which the rares are accessible and appear to stay up until killed, after which they can be summoned again after a short time. These, along with everything else, have a chance to drop warbound catch-up gear, more currency, flight stones, and crests. Now let's talk about the ring. It starts off as an item level 619 ring with stamina, but no other stats. While questing, not even grinding, but just doing the main quest on the island, you'll receive items to upgrade this ring until it reaches item level 639, and that's all there is to upgrades at the moment. There's no grinding gems down or having a crafter make some upgrade item for you. As you upgrade the ring, the attributes you slot in automatically upgrade too, even if they're sitting in your inventory, so there's no second guessing. There's no need to go to a certain location to do your tinkering either. It's very nice that we can adjust our builds on the fly or between pulls. On the flip side, there's only one ring. It's unique. It's not unique equipped, so you can only possess one on the PTR so far. I find this a little odd because you can buy gems from different vendors in the hub, so I won't be surprised if we're able to have multiple rings in future builds. We just need to make sure each ring is fully upgraded. I guess the worst case scenario is that we're going to have a certain number of gems taking up inventory slots, so feel free to get your pitchforks out. Circe's Circlet has 3 gem slots and can be customized with 12 gems. These gems and slots are separated by different attributes: thunder, sea, and wind. Only thunder gems can go into thunder slots, for example, so unlike the Onyx Amulet, you won't be able to throw in any kind of gem combination. There are 4 possible gems that can go into each slot, hence the 12 gems. In this preview though, I'm going to present the gems while also featuring them like it's a possible combination. The first 3 are straight DPS proc gems. You can slot these for some straightforward damage bursts against 1 or more targets. The second set are straight healing proc gems, so great to enhance your healing, or if you want to kind of turn your ring into an off-healing ring, you can do this too. These combos work out great for passive throughput, coming from a player who doesn't optimize, or frankly someone who doesn't, parse very high, and that's okay. The rings just take a lot of the guesswork out of the equation, just slot what you like and you'll see a very easy increase. I have a certain fondness for the Storm Sewer Citrine because it applies a bubble. I'm not certain what happens if a whole raid happens to wear this, but you can be sure it would be massively effective against bosses with constant pulsing damage, or it would do a lot to soften the occasional raid-wide hit. The next set is for secondary stats, and not everyone's going to see the full benefit of this combo. One gem gives a little bit of every stat, another gives mastery, including a small boost to gem's potency based on your current mastery, and the last gem boosts your highest stat for even more. Anyone who's mastery driven is going to get a lot out of this combo. As a paladin with crit and haste, I can't give a good measurement example of what the maximum benefit is, but if you want mastery, this is the way to go. Even the boost to your highest secondary is going to be pretty good while you pick up gems for different kinds of procs. The final 3 gems have some interesting effects. The Roaring Queen is interesting. It'll proc 4 other people's thunder gems, meaning a sudden burst of damage or healing. At the moment this isn't very effective though, because this gem has a proc rate of a little over a minute, while the other gems proc roughly 4 times a minute. Now, numbers and proc rates can always change, but it would be pretty powerful to sort of multiply the amount of throughput going out. Thing is, this is effective in a group, and it does nothing on your own. The second gem gives a stam buff, making this ring's stamina roughly equal to the amount that you get from a heavy piece of gear like a helmet, chest, or legs, but that's it, and the Thorns proc is pretty soft. The final gem is a weird one. It'll proc a random throughput gem, either DPS or healing, at greater effectiveness. Now this can easily be a favorite third gem in case people don't need the extra secondary stat, which can be a problem because, well, in fairness, depending on how you use the ring, you may lose all of your secondary stats in this slot. Numbers can always change, and at the moment the ring just seems quirky and fun, although maybe not even enough to replace your current rings, let alone rings in Season 2, so we'll want to keep an eye on how the tuning of these rings and gems go. Worst case scenario, at the start of Season 2 or something, we swing by here and make a ring real quick and it doesn't take very long at all. I want to remind you folks that this is feedback as I see it. I mentioned earlier that you ought to bring a main to Siren Isle for the sake of blasting through. Many of the island's rewards are managed by this blessed iron, which is warbound, and is mostly used to buy catch-up gear and cosmetics, which are also warbound. At the moment, quests do say that they were completed by your warband, but none of the benefits from these quests are shared. So there's no fast swimming or flying perks, vendors don't sell gems, the ring doesn't get all insane on this island, none of that. The gems for the ring are also not warbound until equipped, they're just bind on pickup. So some feedback, I think it would be best if most everything was warbound, and people would just bring alts to quickly get a ring and kit it out, and mostly goof around on these other classes. It's easy to say that flying should be warbound based on principle, or even instant, like it should be available now, I get that. But in practice, I found flying to be mostly used for hunting down hidden chests. Outside of that, it's just a lot of mob grinding to purchase cosmetics that haven't already dropped from what you were grinding, so I guess I'm just saying that flying isn't even a useful unlock. So Siren Isle is a pinata. It's a pretty fast track to the ring and veteran gear, there's unlockable perks, and a sliding scale of difficulty, from mob grinding to rares and elite rares in close proximity, and then there's taken on the storm version of the island with additional perks and, of course, nukes. There's still questions and gaps, like how far will the alt friendliness extend, and how do we get all the gems, because I haven't figured that out either. Once we know everything, I'll have the usual quick guide the Monday before the patch launches, so stay tuned. I hope this preview turned out helpful, and if so, please hit the like button, subscribe for more WoW coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.